For football fans, few things suck more than seeing world-class talent's bodies destroy them time and time again.
It looked like an MVP and then a troubling knee injury that simply would not go away.
If not for never-ending injury woes, these guys might have been in GOAT discussions as well. So today, we present to you 10 former NFL superstars who would be Hall of Famers by now, if not for injuries. Bo Jackson. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected Jackson first overall in the 1986 NFL Draft, but he refused to sign with them and instead joined the Kansas City Royals after they selected him in the 4th round of the MLB Draft. The Los Angeles Raiders used a 7th-round pick on Jackson in 1987, wondering if there was any way to bring him back into the gridiron. Jackson managed to balance both sports, surprisingly, playing for the Royals and Raiders from 1987 to 1990. Jackson enjoyed a breakout year for the Raiders in 1989, rushing for 950 yards and 4 touchdowns in 11 games. Despite being limited to 10 games in 1990, he earned a Pro Bowl nod after rushing for 698 yards and 5 touchdowns. But just when it looked like Bo Jackson, the NFL superstar, had arrived, well, he suffered a career-ending hip injury in the Raiders' 1990 playoff game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Unfortunately, the injury also affected Jackson's baseball career, and he was never able to regain that all-star form over his last 3 MLB seasons with the Chicago White Sox. Jackson had 1 in a billion athletic genes. Surely, he would have been a Hall of Famer if not for the hip injury. It is truly one of the greatest what-ifs in all of football, nay, sports history. Todd Gurley. Despite missing 3 games in his rookie 2015 season, Gurley exploded for 1,106 yards and 10 touchdowns to win Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. After enduring the well-documented sophomore slump, Gurley bounced back in 2017 with 1,305 rushing yards, 17 rushing scores, 2,093 yards from scrimmage, and 19 total touchdowns, with the latter 3 marks all leading the NFL. Gurley won Offensive Player of the Year honors as well, leading the Rams to their first playoff berth in 13 years. Despite battling a knee injury in 2018, Gurley rushed for 1,251 yards and a league-leading 13 touchdowns, earning additional Pro Bowl and first-team All-Pro nods. Unfortunately, Gurley was greatly limited for the postseason and hardly made an impact in the Rams' 13-3 loss to the New England Patriots in Super Bowl 53. With Gurley still fighting a knee injury, he saw less playing time in 2019 and finished with just 857 yards and 12 touchdowns. The Rams released Gurley from his contract, and the Atlanta Falcons gave him a shot to revive his career in 2020. But man, Gurley just couldn't get much going in his age 26 season, rushing for only 678 yards and 9 touchdowns. Gurley wouldn't play in the NFL again. Robert Griffin III. Everyone knows the story by now. Washington gave up a king's ransom to move up via the Rams and take RG3 2nd overall in 2012. The move paid dividends for 1 year, with the former Heisman Trophy winner throwing for 3,200 yards and 20 touchdowns to go along with 815 rushing yards and 7 scores. Griffin helped Washington to a surprise NFC East Division crown, earning Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. Then, the whole knee injury controversy took over. They had Griffin play through a serious knee injury that led to an ACL tear in their playoff loss to the Seattle Seahawks. And yeah, you all know the rest. Griffin battled injuries the rest of his way and spent most of his career as a backup. Dude, if Washington had just prioritized his long-term health and didn't commit health and coaching malpractice, well, we would easily be talking about a Hall of Fame talent. Bubba Smith. Smith was a Pro Bowl defensive end on the star-studded Baltimore Colts team of the late 60s and early 70s. The number 1 pick of the 1967 NFL Draft lived up to the hype right away, racking up 43 sacks over his first 5 seasons. The 2-time Pro Bowler earned 1971 first-team All-Pro honors, leading the Colts to the 1968 NFL Championship and a Super Bowl V victory over the Dallas Cowboys. The 6'7", 265-pound menace accomplished all of that over his first 5 seasons. Surely a couple more seasons of elite production would have locked down a spot in the Hall of Fame. Yet, in one of the strangest and most unfortunate injury breaks imaginable, Smith's knee was blown out after he crashed into a steel pole used as a first down marker during a 1972 preseason game. The injury sidelined him for the entire season, and his career just never fully recovered. Smith was traded to the Oakland Raiders in 1973. He spent 2 years there before finishing his career with the Houston Oilers. Over his final 4 seasons, Smith mustered just 9.5 sacks. Darren McFadden. McFadden was one of the most explosive players in college football during his 3 years at Arkansas, winning back-to-back Doak Walker Awards, Jim Brown trophies, and SEC Offensive Player of the Year honors. The Oakland Raiders drafted McFadden 4th overall in 2008, one of the 5 running backs selected in the first round. Unfortunately, the injury bug struck McFadden early and often. He was hampered by a toe injury during his rookie year, finishing with 499 rushing yards and 4 touchdowns in limited playing time. He then missed 4 more games in 2009 and 3 more in 2010. McFadden played 7 games in 2011 before suffering a season-ending foot injury. The injury frustrations carried over to 2012, and then he missed 6 more games in 2013. Just when it looked like McFadden's career was done for, he salvaged 1 more 1,000-yard season on a lousy Dallas Cowboys team in 2015. Lo and behold, injuries limited him to 3 games in 2016, and he was out of the NFL for good soon after. Nick Collins. Collins was instrumental in turning the Packers back into a title contender. The 207-pound safety broke out in 2008 with 7 interceptions and 3 pass breakups, earning the first of 3 straight Pro Bowl and second-team All-Pro selections. Oh, and he helped the Packers to a Super Bowl 45 championship in the 2010 season. All of that accomplished through his age 27 season, by the way. Sadly, Collins' career ended abruptly when he suffered a severe neck injury in Week 2 of the 2011 campaign against the Carolina Panthers. It was subsequently discovered that he had a herniated disc and required cervical fusion surgery. Collins was advised to prioritize his long-term health and retired from football. Travis Frederick. From 2014 to 2019, there weren't many positional groups better than the Dallas Cowboys' offensive line. Anchored by Pro Bowl center Travis Frederick and future Hall of Famers Tyron Smith and Zach Martin, the Cowboys helped DeMarco Murray and Ezekiel Elliott combine for 3 rushing titles over 5 years from 2014 to 2018. The number 31 pick of the 2013 NFL Draft earned 5 Pro Bowl selections over his short-lived 6-year NFL career, along with 1 first-team and 2 second-team All-Pro nods. Frederick had to miss the entire 2018 season after being diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, a rare condition where the immune system attacks the peripheral nerves. Frederick returned to the field in 2019, earning his 5th Pro Bowl selection, but in a surprise move, he announced his retirement at the age of 29 before the 2020 campaign. Frederick said that he just couldn't continue playing at the highest level that he expected. Nobody can fault Frederick for putting his health first, but man, it is such a shame that he had to retire early. Eric Berry. Berry was a top 5 safety in the game during his prime years with the Chiefs. The 5-time Pro Bowler and 3-time first-team All-Pro had 14 interceptions and 51 pass breakups over a career marred by injuries, helping KC to 5 playoff appearances during his 9 seasons. After a tremendous 2010 rookie year, Berry suffered a season-ending ACL tear in the Chiefs' 2011 opener. Late in the 2014 season, Berry had to step away and was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma. He then returned in 2015 and won Comeback Player of the Year honors. Unfortunately, Berry suffered a ruptured Achilles tendon in the Chiefs' Week 1 2017 opening win over the New England Patriots. Berry was then limited to 2 games in 2018, and a poor performance in the postseason was followed by his release in a cap-saving move. Arian Foster. The Houston Texans fan base didn't know it at the time, but the franchise was on the verge of turning a corner when they signed Foster as an undrafted free agent out of Tennessee in 2009. After seeing limited playing time as a rookie, Foster burst onto the scene with a monster 2010 campaign, rushing for 1,616 yards and 16 touchdowns, both tops in football, and racked to first-team All-Pro honors. He rushed for 1,224 yards and 10 touchdowns in 2011, helping the Texans to their first playoff appearance and postseason victory in franchise history. Foster earned his 3rd straight Pro Bowl nod in 2012 after rushing for 1,424 yards and 15 touchdowns, helping Houston to a 2nd straight division title. Just when the Hall of Fame conversations were starting up, however, the injury bug began to take over. Foster was on pace for another 1,000-yard campaign before suffering a back injury that required season-ending surgery, shutting him down after just 8 games. Unfortunately, Foster played just 4 games the following season before suffering a torn Achilles tendon that ended his campaign. He attempted a career revival with the Miami Dolphins in 2016, but Foster suffered a groin injury early and decided that his body had enough, retiring during the season after just 4 game appearances. Reggie Bush. The number 2 pick of the 2006 NFL Draft wasn't a bust by any means, but he is still a bit of a what-if. There were very few college players as dominant and highlight reel worthy as the former USC running back and Heisman Trophy winner. Bush was limited to 12 games in 2007 after suffering a season-ending PCL tear. A pair of knee injuries sidelined him for 6 games in 2008. Though the New Orleans Saints went on to win Super Bowl 44 in 2009, Bush was greatly limited with more nagging knee issues and didn't play much of a role in their triumph. A broken leg limited Bush to 8 games in 2010. He was finally healthy for the next 3 years, recording 1,000-yard seasons with the Miami Dolphins and Detroit Lions in 2011 and 2013 respectively. And after a down 2014 season, Bush signed with the San Francisco 49ers in 2015, only to suffer a season-ending ACL tear. And that was practically it for Bush's career. But hey, which other NFL players would have been in the Hall of Fame if not for injuries? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video and learned a thing or two, then clicking the like button helps us out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.